Awesome. Hey, Facebook and YouTube world. And I got IG world here. Super excited, guys. Oh, hey. So excited to be hanging out with you guys. Today, I see you. Hey, Calvin. Hey, Donna. Hey, Nakia. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Krishan. Let's see who we got on IG. Oh, awesome. Love it. Hey, Mo. I see you. Only one on Instagram. Boo. That's pretty terrible. But hey, guys. Hey, Justin. Hey, Malik. Hey, Jordan. Hey, guys. I'm just going to bring my bros on here. We are on YouTube. We're on Facebook. And we are also on IG. I'm trying to find them on here. I don't see them. Let me see. Oh, I see Nick. Let me see him. Okay, Nick is on IG. I'm about to add them on here. Hey, Robin. Hey, Steven. Hey, Derice. Hey, Tamika. All right, I'm going to add them on here. Hopefully it doesn't like. All right. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear us well. Uh-oh, it might do that on my end. Calvin said, let's go.
What's up, everybody?
Okay, so you guys, y'all see them. These my bros. My brother. You can hear. Hey, Octavius. All right. I'm trying to make sure that there's not a whole bunch of feedback. Alicia said we got the VIPs on here. So look, super excited, guys, because we just wanted to chat with you guys really quick about the new single that was released called Release. And tell y'all a little bit about the story, tell y'all really what's happening. And I know this past weekend, there was like a real like crash in like all types of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The reality is I forgot. Like, we've been so focused on recording Refresh Worship Live 3 and that recording and get everything together that I forgot. I forgot about how you how you get that, like how you get to do that. I don't know, but I completely forgot, y'all. So charge it to my head and my heart. People was like, you did a Beyonce on us. I was not trying to do a Beyonce on anybody. I just really forgot. I forgot. And it was the night before. We was production setup night that Thursday. And we were eating at the hotel, and it was like 11 o'clock at night. And I was like, oh, y'all, release is set to release in the morning.
Like, thanks for letting us know.
Yes, I was like, oh, y'all, release is set to release in the morning. And I didn't tell nobody.
Horrible.
So it Jaquay said we should keep surprising us. Jaquay, good to see you.
What's up, Brody?
Nah, I wasn't trying to do no Beyonce at all, Michael Gould. Sade said, Nick, you didn't give her any album credits though. Hey.
This is Sade who? Martin?
Martin, yes.
Oh, crazy tale. Listen here.
Lord.
I don't do credits. Psalmist Raine does them.
No, but literally, y'all, I forgot about it. So charge it to my head and not my heart. We have been moving forward in just, it's a lot of stuff happening, and I want to clarify some things. I want to give y'all a head up on some things, and then kind of blah, 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 let you know what's happening and what's going on.
All right.
Blah, 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 blah. Stop, guys. But most importantly, we want to be here to answer and ask any questions that you guys have. We want to make sure you do that, and we want to also make sure that at the same time we can move forward and move my head this way. Okay. Oh, there it go. My head. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to move this over here this way. So, anywho, release. Anybody want to start? Oh, if you don't know, you got the chief minstrel himself,
Hello. How you doing?
Reese Scott in the middle. Or for those of you on IG, he's on Facebook and on YouTube since we can only add one person on IG, which sucks. Boo. But he's on there. And then of course you got Nicholas McCree, who is the what we call him? The Quincy Jones of our era, of our time, when it comes down to prophetic music and all of the above. And so we're super grateful. I'm super grateful to have them. And we just want to chat a little bit about Release, the People's Edition. So there's a
You want to talk about the first one, or we want to talk about this new one?
We're going to talk about the first one. So if anybody knows, anybody has Believe Again, the live experience, Believe Again came out in 2013. That was our very first live recording. All of us that are right here, this is our very first live recording. And there was a song on there called Release. The goal was to redo or remix Release.
Right.
Yep.
That was the idea.
That was the goal.
I'm about to tell you right now, Quay. The goal was to restructure Release, do a remix to Release, and put it on the next Psalmist Raine album. So let me clear this up for everybody too. So if you guys follow our pattern of music, we release a Psalmist Raine project, then we release a Psalmist Raine and the Refresh Team project. And then we go back and release Psalmist Raine project, and then we release Psalmist Raine Refresh Team project, and it just goes over and over and over and over and over again. I'm due to come up. I've been tardy for the party though, but I'm due to come up though for a project. And so we've been preparing for this project, and I know you guys are not going to expect it because we'll talk about it a little later as to why. But anywho, y'all know we have been doing the Secrets gatherings with myself and Scotty, and then Nick came on the last month, I believe. Nick came on to the Secrets gathering the last month, and
I came on camera the last month.
Right. Well, yeah, because you've been in the room every time, and so what was that? Oh. So what ended up happening was we happened to be at my house one day. It's one of them days when you just around eating chicken, and we know that the goal is to remake this song.
Yeah. Yep. What happened, Raine?
So it's Scotty's fault.
It really is. 100%.
So you tell him, Scotty, what happened.
It's not my fault.
So what ended up happening was we were trying to figure out how to redo it. I think I had laid some tracks down with some other songs that was on the project. If you don't know this project that's coming out, I wrote them. I was like, I'm being real creative on this one. So I was doing some music, and it was like, okay, let's get down to Release. So we got to doing Release and messed around, and we were trying to fit it in, but it just wasn't working with what was. We were getting the words and the lyrics, and it just wasn't working. And so Scotty says, "Hold on, I got something." Whenever he do that,
every time, we in trouble.
Whenever we do that, he done went to another realm. So
my Lord.
Release, actually, the way the track starts does not start where we actually started.
Nope.
So I'm a pause here. Those of you that are on IG, it's really hard to have a conversation with y'all because Scotty's not on here. But
yeah,
I'm going to try to turn up my volume so you guys can hear him and he can tell you guys about what he was doing or thinking of when he started. And then, Jaquay, I'm going to come to your question in a minute.
Okay, cool. Hey, everybody. So, we were stuck for a moment, guys. And so with that being said, we were trying to figure out, what we were going to do and how we were going to remake or redo the song. But once prayer gets involved with things, we can't seem to move or go anywhere without God actually doing something, right? So I was like, you know what? Raine was like, okay, well, I'm gonna pray. She got the praying real good, and then it was like, okay, oh, this is where we going. A vein literally came into the room. A sound came into the room, and guess what? We went along with it. And with that being said, that's how we have this whole thing of a new release. The old release of what we did in 2013 was really good, but I think this one is a bit more powerful, and it's talking to the times and the seasons of things that's happening right now, even today. And a great let me let you guys know this. With us writing and arranging a song at the time that we did, I want you guys to know that it happened way before the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
That's the most amazing thing. So some of the words and some of the things that you're hearing and that she's singing about is literally happening right now. And I think that's such an amazing thing, because we understand that God speaks in many different seasons and for many different reasons, of course, but he speaks to where we are currently, and we were just forecasting literally what's literally happening right now today.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
So he started off with just this sound, and I'm gonna let Nick have at it because he could tell you what he was thinking in his brain.
Goodness.
And after that.
What everybody said is dead on. We have been sitting down. It wasn't only the three of us in the room, but it was the three of us. Apostle Johnny, Psalmist Raine's husband, was in the room. I think it was just a few other people just kind of hanging out. Again, this was just a hangout day. This was, it was like, hey, since we're here, let's just do a little work, but that's not really the focus for today. And again, we sat almost like an hour and a half trying to come up with just how to update it. We had goals and plans, and it just nothing was clicking. At that point, we had turned off any type of loops or drum sounds, timekeepers. Everybody's just kind of stuck. And one thing we know, and it's been consistent for all the years we've worked together, when Reese says, I got something, we in trouble. Now some people have asked me, why does it fade in, or y'all don't really edit stuff, so why did y'all edit this? Well, actually, the truth of the matter is we didn't, because in my head, it's just like, hey, well, let's just see what Reese comes up with. I didn't think that we was like being thrusted into a whole nother dimension.
Hey, bro, but how long was it? Because I think we were in for about 30 to 40 minutes, though, right?
We were in maybe about 10-15 minutes before I realized that we weren't recording. And once I came back to the natural, let's say it that way, and realized we were recording, I was like, oh crap, it's happening. Kind of like giving birth. Stop what you're doing. It's happening. Press record. But I was so discombobulated, I was on the wrong platform for recording. So like the recording started glitching, it paused while we were recording. So we really missing like an hour
almost,
of what really happened in that moment due to technical stuff. And luckily we were able to just kind of salvage what we had, edit, do all of that, and we went forth and do what we do.
Yeah, so keep in mind, guys, we were just literally trying to figure out what to do. This next project that's coming out is not like the other projects that you've seen before. You get to learn the other aspect of me, because a lot of y'all think I just move prophetically, but no, guys, like
that's the background queen.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah, so the songs that are coming out on this next project, I wrote them, we arranged them. I'm doing BGVs. I really like doing BGVs. And so I get to
it's hot, y'all.
You know, I get to do a lot of stuff, like a lot of creative stuff. So you get to see me on the creative side with this next project that is coming up. And so I put out a post on Facebook, I think not too long ago, and I said, please don't box us in, because you're going to literally be just like, wait, what happened? When did this happen? So I actually I enjoy writing. I enjoy arranging vocally. I enjoy all of these things. I enjoy doing BGVs. So the music that you're gonna see come out is my own BGVs. Me and I was like, I hear something like I should let y'all into a studio session coming up. Like I'll let y'all in and see.
Not a bad idea.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, because a lot of y'all get to see us in a live environment, but you don't get to see when we get to do a lot of things. So I'm coming into just loving the writing or the pen that God has given me. It's unique, it's different. But I'm like, hey, we pushed the envelope on everything else, so why not do it on this one as well? So we were trying to rearrange it. Scotty starts playing, and anybody knows just on a regular, I'm like just move to different things and words come up, and I'm an intercessor first. So all I started to do is just pray. Right. So all I started doing is just I start praying, and a lot of people know I put emphasis on the scripture that talks about edify the church with psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs. We don't hear a lot about the spiritual songs because it's not really understood. So I tap into that. I find my strength from tapping into those spiritual songs, and I found myself, oftentimes just in a vein, you find yourself just jumping right into the wave that's already happening, going on. So Nick thought we was just simply getting warming up,
Exactly.
He thought we were only just warming up. He did not think that we were actually in the process of getting ready to just do everything. He thought we was warming up. So when he did, he was like, oh. And everybody in the room was just quiet.
And high.
Everybody in the room was just quiet. And literally we went for about...
We did.
So about 45 minutes or so?
Yeah, 45 minutes to an hour, because I'm trying to remember what was going on in that particular moment, because once we came out, we was like, oh, okay, well, let's get started. But everything had already happened. So it was like we were looking up. How long we been in? 45 minutes to an hour we were in. And we're talking about with fresh revelation.
Oh yeah.
So I think we recorded this, guys, in March, early March.
Early March,
before everything officially got shut down.
So when that was before COVID hit. It happened right after we came back from our tour, but it was before COVID actually hit.
Yep.
So we had no idea. Like, I think that was one of the things we said, like, y'all, when all the stuff was going to hit, we were like, y'all, people are not going to believe that this was done in March. But it was done. We did it right. I think it was like the week or so after
we got back from Memphis.
We got back from Memphis. We did Memphis the first week in March. And the week after that, we was at the house chilling, eating some chicken. And we were like, let's put this structure, because y'all, I have already been working on the project. So it's not like it was something that was new. This was just the next song on the docket to complete and finish. But we had to rearrange it. And so that's where it becomes really, really interesting, because we did not plan this. Some of the things that happened that came up in those moments, the turns, anybody knows me and Scotty's been working together.
Ooh, it'd been like 13, 14 years. Joy's about to be 14, my oldest. Is going to be 14 next month. So we're talking about 13 to 14 years of ministering together. And anytime we minister together, it's always it's always pure. And God is always doing something and working as it relates to us in ministry. It's just amazing. So the prophets come together and we minister. That's what we do. That's what we do.
IG, I just want y'all to see Scotty, but it's probably gonna be so much easier if y'all can hop onto our Facebook page or our YouTube page. I can see the comments on there.
My face.
Yeah. So if y'all can follow us over there on Facebook and on YouTube, you can follow us on our Psalmist Raine Refresh Team page on Facebook, as well as the Psalmist Raine Refresh Team page on YouTube. You can follow us there, and we're on there because this Instagram, I don't think Scotty's on Instagram right now, but if y'all could just roll on over there and hop on and let's talk, that'll be a lot easier because I'm going to be putting up the phone, putting down the phone, putting up the phone, putting down the phone. It'll be a whole lot. So y'all, I'm going to make sure, this was a sound God wanted you to release, and how did you prepare? All right, so Toast said, we didn't know that this was a sound that God wanted us to release. It's natural for us to tap into prayer. It's natural for us to tap into worship because that's just simply what we do. So because it's simply what we do, it was not something that we prepared for. Because like I said, we were sitting at home. Everybody was in our house and we was eating chicken.
I think the thing is, and what I want people to understand is that having a firm foundation in prayer allowed us to get to this sound that was produced and that you guys hear off of this release that we have out now. Prayer was the foundation of it. If you have a strong foundation, you will get to your next level or next place. And I think that's something that's very key when it comes to worship leaders, when it comes to being, let's say, a person of worship, a person of praise. All of those things, you have to have a firm foundation in prayer so that you will get the instructions on what to do next. Again, our testimony is that we were literally sitting in a room. We were sitting in a room trying to create something. And what ended up coming out was not something of our own doing, but of what God was doing at that particular time, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So the thing about it is the key is to always be ready.
Yeah.
We lost it, but it seemed like he's getting ready to come back home.
Okay.
So with that being the case, like the goal is to always be ready. You can't find yourself not consecrated. Like if you live a lifestyle of consecration, then whenever God is ready to release, you'll be right there. To partner with God concerning the things that he wants to release or say, or whatever the case may be. And
I'm sorry, sis. I think that's very important. I think that's very important to always be ready. I think one of the things sometimes we lack, and I hate to kind of turn a little bit, but sometimes what we lack in our services is being able to do that or tap into that or even speak about it. I think it's something that's going to come back into the church fold because it's something that's missing and something that's needed.
Yeah. So like people feel like what's the thing? If you're always ready, you'll never have to get ready. And if you have to get ready, then you're not ready. That's the thing that we walk in. We laugh, we joke, we play, we enjoy life, we enjoy fellowship, we enjoy community. So we can eat a piece of chicken and Scotty can play something and literally we can tap right into whatever God is saying. So this song is really a song of intercession. Anybody that's been following us with the Seekers Guideline, you already know this is something that we do already. It doesn't take long. It doesn't. We can do it. We can be laughing 1 minute and go right there in the next minute because the reality is we never disconnect. I see Nick, he's trying to come back on. We never disconnect, and that's the goal. Scotty, I mean, I'll tell y'all, this is just on a regular. We could be at home, we could be laughing and joking, and Scotty be like, oh, I feel a little boo. Like, that's just him. He would be like, oh, I ain't gonna, you gonna do this, or oh, you gonna do that. And so we know to receive from him. You know, we learn to hear from the word of the Lord that comes out of him, and we'll find prosperity when we do that.
I think the thing is that we just limit God many times. Not all of us, but some of us, a majority of us, limit God, because I used to do it, and so I know, I'll speak on it. We just limit God to being in a church building, and we limit God to just, in church functions and things like that, where God is always speaking about something. He'll speak to you while you're at work. He'll speak to you, while you're at home. And those things, I believe, we sometimes miss, and sometimes we negate that fact because we want to gather together with people. Yes, we are together with the people, but guess what? God is still speaking outside of that. And then well, I won't say it like that, but you guys do realize that we are the church. We are the church, and so that's how that thing functions, and that's how that thing goes. It'll be right here. We'll be having a good old time, and then hey, the next moment it'll be like, oh, you know what the Lord is saying, and that's just how God uses me sometimes.
And so it's not abnormal for him to just play. And I believe, like, we kind of trigger one another. Like, sometimes there are words that I say that will trigger or open up another realm for him. And then sometimes there are things he plays that I'll be like, oh, there we go. I'm seeing something, or I'm hearing something, or let's press into this thing. And that has always been our connection since we started back in 2007. That has always been our connection, where we gather together. Here goes Nick. Add him back. There he goes. That has always been our connection. As we started music, he'll say something. He'll say something, I'll be triggered, or he'll play something, I'll be triggered. I say something that triggers him, and so so with that being the case, we get to move forward in the things of God and what he's saying. And what we realize is that as long as we're on the same wavelength as God is, we will find ourselves before time given the solution before time to the things that are getting ready to come up around us, or whatever. Bro, I don't know if you heard any of the conversation. He going back out again.
Oh, come back in. Go devil.
So with that being the case, that's how release even came about. The things that you hear, the moanings and groanings, I'm a teacher by nature, so now what I'm trying to do more often than not is teach in my song. So I make sure that while I'm singing in the spirit, I also give identifying factors or language to what's happening, which is the moanings and groanings that cannot be uttered. That scripture where it talks about Holy Spirit making intercession for us with moanings and groanings that cannot be uttered. And so adding language to what's happening in that moment or in that time, or adding language to what we're seeing in the spirit, adding language to what God is releasing in the moment, is one of the things that was the driving factor in it all. And as a singer, I have to give the minstrels room to prophesy. I have to give them the song room to breathe in those moments. And so go ahead, bro.
I think it's more along the lines, and if we just want to make it kind of like practical, it's just a conversation. And so it's one person speaking to another. And essentially that's what music does. And you'll get a conversation and you have a response. You'll say something and you'll have a response. And and that's how God treats us, and that's how we hear him. We'll ask a question, and guess what? He'll give you an answer. And so, if we approach worship like that, if we approach our services like that, how much more better, or how much more would God speak, or how much further would we be, as far as the world, is concerned.
Absolutely. Mama Leah said, are there any new songs on the new release from the book of Isaiah? No, I did not write any songs from the book. A lot of these songs were literally my heart expression to the Lord. I am an advocate. Here we go. Personally, this is my own personal conviction. I personally believe that all worship should be that demonstration of a conversation with God or engagement with the Lord. And so all the songs that are written are simply that engagement with the Lord. And if in that moment he would have us to speak a word of truth or something like that, you will most of the time hear it in ad-libs or agree. I do not tap into horizontal worship a lot of times, or it's not even really worship, but that horizontal directional when it comes down to leading worship, I do not tap into that with the songs that I write, because literally it's like a conversation. It's a time of expression with the Lord, and I enjoy it, and I believe that it should spark, or praise and worship should be contagious to the next listener, to the next worshiper. They should be sparked with that. And so all of these songs are directed towards the Lord. All of these songs, you're going to get not only just my heart in words, but you get my heart in expression. I was always raised to sing how you feel. Sing how you feel. Sing it, put feeling behind it. Don't just let those words just be words, but to actually sing it. And go from there. And so you may hear, like, there's a lot of I'm doing a lot of calling out to Zion, and anybody that reads the scripture, anybody that follows any prophetic rhythms that are happening in the word and in the world, and in comparison to what God is saying even now to our world, there's a great calling out for Zion in this moment.
There is.
So there is a great calling out for Zion in this moment, we are literally, I know a lot of the songs call out for Zion, and the prophet Isaiah speaks tremendously to Zion as a people, Zion as a high place, and then Zion, of course, as a city as well. So that goes for that. And the reality is, y'all, we were going to release just blanket it. Anybody that knows me, I do not go in and do overdubs like that. I don't like it. I be like, I don't like it. I don't go in and do overdub, so I did not do overdub. Nick can attest to the more technical side of things. So while you're here, bro, we'll let you have it.
Listen, I'm not gonna be defeated. Every time we get online, something happens with my end. But yeah, no, like she said, she's not real big on doing overdubs. Even kind of side tracking. If you follow our history, Refresh 1, Refresh 2, none of her lead vocals are overdubbed. They're all from that night. Her thing is, bro, you know me, make it work. So if I was sharp, just do what you do. Just I'm not coming back to the studio and doing that. And I get that, because I think what a lot of people fail to realize is that they look at it from the musical or the artist perspective of it, but they always negate the spiritual side of it, because what happened in that moment may not have technically or musically been correct, but that growl or that over aggression that you would probably never do might have been a growing pain, and you replacing it for the sake of sounding good is now taking the integrity of what God was delivering in that moment. Authenticity. And that was something that I had to learn, always coming from the recording world of we perfect everything, we clean everything, we make it perfect, to now this is what God released in the earth, and it's just our responsibility to just clean the mountain. We didn't build it, but we just make sure that the mountain stays clean. So whatever happened in that moment, that's just what it is. We clean it, we perfect it, so that the spectators, not that we really necessarily are looking or seeking their approval, but that the spectators, the naysayers, we don't give them a platform to say anything, but our true ultimate desire is to please God and deliver what he gave in the moment. So
you know what? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm glad you said that, man. I was asked a question this weekend. What is my focus when we're in an environment that we are in currently? Well, not currently, or that we're in. The thing is, my thing is, I'm ministering to God, and I'm talking to God. I'm trying to get a reaction from Him. When. In actuality, that's who we should really honestly be talking to. But most times we find ourselves trying to fit in a mold that we're not, supposed to be in. And I know for me, while ministering, my focus is, hey, I want to get the attention of God. I want to get the attention of God. Father, what do you want to do through me so that people can see you? And I think a little bit sometimes that's what's missing.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sis.
I'm really big on partnership,
For sure.
and partnering, especially in moments where you're called to navigate people into the things of the Lord, and there are, especially with people that they're open to the experience, but even being open to those realms, there's a lot of activity that happens in those realms. And like I said, I'm a teacher. Shamari is my thing. I will do it till.
Yeah.
I will in a moment, and I will fight over something that is a threat to what God wants to do in a set moment of time. And so I believe that in that moment, like, it's really important to, especially with release, like, that was what came out of me in that moment of, like, God, like, save the bride. She being influenced in a different direction. Come save her. Come get her. Come do this. Had no idea that the whole George Floyd thing was going to happen. Had no idea that all of the things that are centered around COVID and all of that stuff, all of the conspiracy theories, the underlining tones with it, had no idea any of these things was going to happen.
Right.
And so we were really, really shocked when we were like, we're getting ready to release it, and we had already planned to release. We also were going to release it in May, and then it got pushed back to June. And of course, y'all know it got pushed back to July. But even in that, it's just like we never expected all of these things to happen the way they is. Scott, are you typing?
No, that's not me.
That's not you.
That's
I
not
don't
me.
know what that is. I was trying to figure it out. It's like I'm trying to interfere with what's happening and what's going on.
It's a caution launch.
But we bind you, so stop it right now. Seriously, stop it. Cut you off.
So, yeah, it did. It happened right after that, and so I think what it's really like chewing.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It's nobody typing, guys, so we don't know what's going on. Let me see if I mute. Okay. Yeah, so okay, there it goes. Interesting. Nevertheless, so we the reality of the matter is, guys, it's like we did not know, but what we did know was that it was necessary. It was necessary for us to release as a song of intercession. It was necessary. Okay, thanks, Michelle. It was necessary for us to be able to identify, or not even identify, but to release God's timing or God's words, or these words of intercession in that moment. It was really, really interesting just how all of these things happen. So we're always blown away every time stuff just happens to work out. Like, we follow God's plan, but it's tripped out how it works. It's tripped out how it all ends up coming together. And so release was something that we thought, really, it's totally off field from the project that's getting ready to come out. I'll let Nick talk to y'all a little bit more about it, because I know a lot of people are like, this is an EP. No, it's not an EP. This is actually a single that we released. I think we are putting it on this album, but it's 27 minutes by itself. So you guys, if anybody knows, and
it's an EP by length,
but it's not. I put it as a single. Now, all them other folks, they do what they want to do with it. iTunes took it and did what it wanted to do with it. And let me tell y'all how much I didn't know it was gonna come out on Friday. I told bro and them, I said, I didn't even put a price on it. Typically, you put a price, next to stuff. I didn't even do that. I didn't do that at all. And so I was like, I just didn't think that it was coming out on the 10th until I checked it out. And I was like, it's supposed to come out, and it said everything was delivered, but I never put a price on it. So I thought it was a discrepancy in everything. But it didn't.
Here we are now, huh?
Here we are, and it's already released. So, it's totally left field from the project that you're getting ready to get. And remember, the project is not a Psalmist Raine and the Refresh Team project. The project that's coming out is just simply a Psalmist Raine as a solo artist project. And Nick can speak more to that, because we deal with stuff like that. And he's gone.
Good Lord have mercy.
So,
well, I would say that the project that's going to come out is going to be very musical, and so you guys want to get the many different facets of Psalmist Raine, and what I would like to share here in this particular moment is music. It is music. God is the creator of all music. Mm-hmm. Now it's the content that get us a little, shaky, right? Yeah. But it is still music. And so what you're going to get is some artistry within her psalmist abilities. And it's going to be so amazing. As soon as Nick comes back on, I know he'll be able to share more with you guys.
But if you guys have some questions, we can go ahead and take some questions. Person asks, could you do an EP with just instruments? Absolutely. EP is just a smaller version of an album. That's simply all it is. It's just a smaller version of the album. And Scotty does them all the time.
Why you say that?
Chief Minstrel. You can actually go and you can order an instrumental, and the prophet gets to praying, and he does an instrumental specifically for you. That's what he does.
Hey, Facebook.
EP is just it's a smaller version. EP probably be like up to 5 songs, 3 to 5 songs of an actual project. So yeah, bro, we were handing it over to you before Gary kicked you out.
Jesus. Before I got put out, the one thing that I was gonna say is that as an artist, I think that the fruit that you bear is what comes out in your music. And the mantles that you carry come out in your music. And I think one thing that I'm most excited about, especially with not just the project, but specifically with releases, is that I think that we get to meet Psalmist Raine or Lorraine, the prophet, the intercessor, the evangelist, even though it's on a platform through music. I think all of those mantles that you carry is what is exemplified in the waves that come across in the song, which is why it's 27 minutes long, or why it was longer than that. I think that's a big, important piece to what we do and who we are. Because that's the fruit that you carry. That's the fruit that you bear. And even to the rest of the project, that's the whole project speaks to that. We've ventured off into some different genres that you won't see coming. We got a country tune, we got a legit pop tune, maybe two. We got some more like traditional like praise and worship, maybe with a splash of Judy McAllister in it. It's a conglomerate of sounds going on, but the overall, it doesn't matter how it's packaged, as long as it's delivered correctly. And so that's really kind of all of it in a nutshell.
Yeah. So I know the question was, so the project was originally scheduled to come out at the end of the month.
Somebody don't want you to talk. We ain't gonna do
that. The project was scheduled to come out at the end of the month, but I think it got pushed back a little bit, right, bro?
Yeah, we're I'll take the blame for this one. We're looking at like the end of August.
Oh, so y'all gotta wait till the end of August. Y'all see how he said that real quick?
Well.
Listen, because we, again, a lot of times we birth and create on the spot, so we don't necessarily have a chance to really sit and perfect, if I can use that word. And because this is a different platform, I'm being very very particular about literally every single thing on the record. Not being, a perfectionist, but literally being particular about everything. So I've had to, replace a few instrumentalists here and there. Like that didn't quite work out the way I expected it. Let's go back. We've had strings added to the record all the way from Nigeria. So yeah, it's like we're sending files across the oceans and they're coming back to be a part of this project. So
and they sound amazing. It sounds amazing.
My God.
So we can do that. Yeah, the end of August. So Justin, let me tell you about what happened at the summit last year. Because the question is, will we get the live version of what was recorded at last year's summit?
So that's Nick. I don't know.
I'm a mute old Gary over there because that's Gary Martin. So Justin, so let me tell you, it was multiple things that happened at the summit last year. Number one, I had an allergic reaction and I didn't know it. So I was singing like in a lower tone, like a tenor baritone, because I was literally having an allergic reaction in my throat. But because of the glory that was in there, I did not. Typically, when I have an allergic reaction, I break out in hives. I'm swelling up all over the place and things of that nature. That did not happen. The only thing that did happen, though, was that my voice was so completely shot. It was like unbelievable. So that was one thing that happened. But the Lord kind of carried us through. I was listening to some of the clips that people had off of I was listening to some of the clips that people had from the summit last year, and it was crazy. But here's the other piece. Technically, the joint didn't even record like that. It was supposed to be recorded, and it did record. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not my fault.
It was the first time that we were being the artist, producer, sound company, and recording company all in one.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, we trying to kill ourselves. This is suicide. And so focusing in one area, we neglect another area, and the area that got neglected was the recording. So that's why we don't really have the recording kept pausing. It didn't go all the way through.
Right. So we did. It was recording like when we started, but it paused, and nobody caught the pause. Right. And when they did try to press play again, it missed a whole lot. And then, so it was literally super retarded. So we couldn't do anything with what was released at the summit, as far as the actual project was concerned. But we got right on the ball, and we started working on this project that is about to come out next month. That's what that is. But we wanted to give you release to kind of bridge the gap between the prophetic world that you guys know me from, the Seekers world, Seekers Gathering world that you guys know me from, into this new phase, this new musical phase that we're getting ready to go into. And everything around us has matured. Refresh Worship Live, this project, y'all saw all of the different videos and pictures from what we did this past weekend from this live recording. This live recording, I have written songs for myself and from the team. And we combined the two worlds of the written songs and the prophetic flow. And when I tell y'all,
praise God.
If anybody follows me on IG, I put a clip of what Nick felt like after one moment. Just one moment. So yeah, it's
God is good.
Something else. So nevertheless, Mama Lee, you said, can we hear a little snippet of the release? You talking about release that was just released, or you talking about Refresh Worship Live 3? And so Refresh, yeah, it was Refresh Worship Live 3, guys. He gone again. That's Gary. Refresh Worship Live 3. I do not believe that the world is going to be ready for what actually took place this weekend. Like, it's been phenomenal. And unfortunately, we had to close the session due to COVID and, the restrictions with everybody. Got you. Okay. Due to COVID and the restrictions with everybody coming, we had to make it a closed event. But I don't know if y'all ready. The type of substance to meet the next level flows that you get is unlike Refresh 1, unlike Refresh 2. It definitely is maturity. I would say it's a mature sound. It's a sound of great placement. It's just phenomenal. So I don't want you guys to get confused, because although we did a live recording the same weekend that release was released, the Refresh Worship Live 3 will not come out till next year.
Right.
It won't come out till next year. So there's a lot of parts on this one that has to be really perfected and just kind of put together to present with you guys an amazing project. So stay tuned with that. So y'all about to get the new album that's coming out in August. We get a release, this little moment for you to tap into and go from there. Release almost got me released from my place of residence. So I'm gonna let you guys. I want to next year. A lot of the camaraderie and the stuff that you did, because we're generally like brothers and sisters, y'all. Like,
we're family.
Yeah, we really are. And so with that being the case, a lot of people are trying to figure out how to get that synchronization with your menstruals and things of that nature, and that simply comes from fellowship.
Yep.
That you can't get it any other way. I mean, fellowship allows us to be able to not only partner together with one another, but to be able to partner with God. So Refresh Worship Live 3 is coming out next year. Yes, next year. But we're going to give you the Psalmist Raine project in the meantime. And that's it. And then you get to go from there. Yep. So fellowship helps to diminish a lot of the separation in the spirit that you may feel. I can honestly say, we can walk into joints blindly because we have one another. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
yes.
We know that because we partner with each other and then we partner with God, God can speak to what's happening and what's going on in that moment, in that time and season. So this is what release is. A lot of people, I know that this is the type of song you cannot really categorize. It's intercession. It's literally intercession, and you have you have intercession just in it. Now, is it for church? This is not one of those songs you can rehearse and sing just anyway. This is something that, if this is a song that you feel like the Lord is leading you to sing, it has to come from a moment that is birthed out of intercession. It can't just be something like a selection. This be a part of my A/B selection.
Oh, Lord.
So it can't be like that.
Can't do that.
Yeah, so that's that. I want to make sure there's you guys can post your questions. I want to see if I can play the song and you guys can hear it a little bit, and then let me see. Maybe I'll have to share my screen.
Okay, screen share.
Screen share. Y'all gonna see my iTunes list. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna work. Let me see. No, you supposed to worship to it. You can't sing along. All right, y'all see my little iTunes list. Let me know if you guys can hear it. How you do this?
Oh, we can hear that. It's clear.
It ain't doing right. Thanks, guys.
We can hear it.
Can I be honored? Moments and gardens. Can I be honored? With moments and gardens. Can I be honored? With moments and gardens. Can I be honored? With moments and gardens. Okay. Can I be honored? With moments and gardens. something.
Oh, Kelly.
Yes, we forgot. So on the reverse team, we have our flutist named Kelly Gaynor, and she's all the way from Maryland. And we Nick did a Facebook Live, and in his Facebook Live, what happened? He was playing Release and showing people how Kelly's on here. Hey, Kelly. And so he was what was he doing? Oh, he was showing them how he was mixing and things of that nature. And Kelly was like, I gotta get on this. I have to get on this. And y'all know, if anybody knows me, I love just the wind instruments, especially the flute. It was so just amazing. And she kept saying, people gotta hear what heaven sounds like. And so Kelly got on here afterwards, and she really began to just minister. So y'all just listen. Oh, here's a reminder too. This part right here is actually on the original release, because we got into it and I was like, I know we're supposed to be making up Release. Let me add these words in here. And that's actually on the original Release song. It's the verse one. Hey, Manny. Oh wow!
You heard Kelly say quiet and well so much while recording.
Hey Nicole, Kelly, let me know. I want to add Kelly on here so that you guys can get to meet her. Kelly, let me know if you're good to come on live, and I'll send you the link. Release you in your splendor. Release you, Lord. Release you in your fullness.
Hey, Wayne, you said yeah.
Okay. Release you in your splendor. Release you, Lord. Release you in your fullness. 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 Yep, she's about to come on right now. I want to introduce you guys to our flute player. We just hanging out with y'all. We just having a conversation. That's all. Kelly, give me a for a second. Y'all.
Hey, Kelly.
Hey, family. Yes.
Y'all, this is Kelly.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
My God.
Let me turn this back.
Yeah, guys.
Y'all, this is Kelly. So, yeah, this is Kelly, all the way from Maryland. Amazing flute player, y'all. Amazing flutist. And we're so honored to have you, y'all. She's a part of the Refresh team, and we just absolutely love Auntie Kelly. We love Auntie Kelly.
Cry. Y'all don't understand. I'm serious. Y'all don't understand.
Oh, Kelly.
I'm serious. Y'all don't understand.
Oh, we
no,
love
listen. I just got to share this. When Nick played that on Facebook, you understand, my spirit literally just leaped. I usually don't ask for, hey, can I be on something? But I knew 1,000% that it was God had to get me out of my comfort zone and say, you need to release. Okay? The wind, the ruach needed to be on there. Okay? And I'm telling you, he had me move my recording equipment in my prayer room. Okay? He had me move my recording equipment in my prayer room. He said, this is where I want you to record this, where you fellowship with me, where you worship with me, where you cry. He said, this is where I want you to record. And I was up. Y'all don't understand. It wasn't me just playing my flute. Y'all don't understand. I was up at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. I was like, God, what is it that you want me to play? What is it you want your people to hear? What is it that you want me? You know, I said, everything that's part of me, just remove it so they can just really hear your pure sound. God, I just really want them to be able to hear you. It was a labor of love. You understand that? It was a labor of love. I was like, God, let your sound be released on this earth so people can hear you. So it wasn't by coincidence, you know. It was the timing of God. And I just want to thank you guys for just allowing me just to be able to be a part of it. You understand? It was just God all day, all night. It was just God.
No, we absolutely love you. We honor God. We honor God. We honor you. I mean, it's just.
It was God. Okay.
Jesus.
It was God. It was every sound that I heard from Reese, every sound that I heard from you, even the beats and the rhythms coming from Nick. I wasn't there physically, but I was there with y'all spiritually, okay? I was connected. I was connected. It was a bearing of witness that happened. And I was there with you all. I was worshiping. I was interceding. I was crying. I was wailing. I was interceding all during the time that you all laid this. It was the timing of God.
Jesus.
Okay? It was the timing of God. And I'm just grateful that this is an opportunity that people can hear. Okay, they can hear the sound of God. They can hear what He's saying through each one of us. Okay? And it is through relationship.
Right.
I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I cuss. Okay. I'm just saying, God, God, but my heart is one that I love.
Tell the truth, Kelly.
Okay. I love God.
And
I know you love God. I know Reese loves God. I know that people on this call, they love God. Okay. But I just wanted you all to hear that this thing was the timing of God. I could barely get through the recording. Okay.
Man,
like y'all don't understand. We absolutely adore GT Kelly. I remember when she came and she auditioned for Refresh, and we was like, we about to put Nick on here.
Even that was God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I love my refreshed family.
We love you.
Okay.
They all
love
you. Let me add Nick real quick.
I'm looking all crazy.
No.
It's okay.
No, it's good. Y'all gotta understand, like, refresh.
We are. Indiana got me out here like Teddy Riley.
Okay.
Riley, what?
I said the state of Indiana got me out here like Teddy Riley.
Man, like, and it's crazy because, yeah, I think Nick and Kelly connected some way somehow. I was just like, okay.
There was no way. I texted Nick. I said, Nick, there is no way. There is no way. And he said, I got the approval from Boss later. And I literally, in my spirit, I said, it is on.
Yeah.
It's on.
Yeah. So, y'all, that all of the beautiful minstrels you hear, I think me and Nick had a conversation. We was like, bro, if we're going to add anything to this song, yo, that literally what you hear on release is raw. It's raw. Like,
Yep.
Nick, I said probably the only thing we need to do is just add percussion. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna let you guys hear this part for those who haven't heard it yet. Listen to Kelly, y'all. Wait. I gotta go back because right there in that moment shows exactly how our process works. So Scotty, like I told you guys before, we'll give room for the music to breathe. Scotty will come up with another melody, depending on what he hears, or depending on what we may have said, what I may have said beforehand. Something. Scotty will just turn the page, and you gotta give the room psalmists, lead singers. You gotta give room to let the melody of God impart what words may not be able to impart. And so I was to hear this part, and literally, oh man. Yeah, Asia was sitting right next to me while we were recording this. I told y'all we were just sitting there eating chicken.
We were sitting. It was family time for real, y'all.
It was family time. So I just want y'all to hear this part again. Pay attention to how Reese kind of sets the stage up a little bit. And based off of what he plays, I can hear Holy Spirit sing it, and I'll just say whatever he says. And that has been a vow of mine. And because I have made that a vow, I just, whatever is released, that's what we do. And then Kelly just has it on there. And then, Nick, we were like, we're going to do percussion, but Nick is he's a drummer, but he's a percussionist as well. So, it was late at night. So let me just let y'all listen to this part. still to come? Who is who was? Yeah. Who is still to come? Who is who was? And who is still to come? Who is who was? And who is still to come? Who is who was?
Wow.
Who is who was? And who is still to come? Come, Lord Jesus. Come, Lord Jesus. Come. So that's what happened literally right there. He triggered something. I said something. It shifted it. It triggers it. That's just what happens on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Come, Lord Jesus. Right, Kelly. Save your bride. Come, Lord Jesus. Save your bride. Come, Lord Jesus. Told y'all we had no clue what was happening. This happened before COVID.
Woo-wee.
Save your bride. Zelda, this is already out. You can go get it now on all digital sites.
Download it.
Save your bride. Come, Lord Jesus. Save your bride. Come, Lord Jesus. Save your bride. Persecution. Save your bride. Prostitution. Save your bride. Come, Lord Jesus. Yeah. Save your bride from persecution. Save your bride from prostitution. Save your bride. Come, Lord Jesus. Destroy these systems. Destroy these systems. Come, Lord Jesus. Save your bride. Rescue bride. Come, Lord Jesus. Come, Lord Jesus. Come, Lord Jesus. Come, Lord Jesus. Come, Lord Jesus.
If you listen too long, you'll get drunk. I'm telling you, it's happening.
Yeah, so that's released, guys. the Secret Edition. Anybody that's been a part of the Secrets Gatherings monthly, you know, you can kind of understand where this comes from. You're kind of used to that already. But we had never put it out as an actual song or single. Hold on. Here's where he turns the page again. Hold on. Rescue, rescue, rescue. You see Reese is turning the pages now.
You know, right here, the Lord said, He just told me to play a sustaining note. He said, just blow.
It's funny that you say that because my thing was just say consistent.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was my whole thing. My whole piece was like, everybody knows you can kind of see my interaction with the Lord when it happened. Well, a lot of times when Scotty is turning the pages a little bit and he's doing something, my only thing is to remain consistent.
Yep.
Don't move, don't shift, don't add nothing to it.
Yep.
Just stay right there.
Yep.
And
that's exactly what he said. He said, stay. He said, I sustain and no, don't change. Just go.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know what it is for you, bro, when it comes down to mixing, mastering, stuff like this, when it comes down to playing, even on percussion, you can just add to it a little bit.
It's the same here. It's the same here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially in mixing, I might take that loop and just make it longer, self-sustain it. It's the same here. Yeah. So it works on all platforms.
Yeah. Wow. So, guys, we count it an honor to be trusted to intercede in a capacity such as this, and to be able to partner with God concerning the things that He wants to release, whether it's through sound, whether it's through word, whether it's through intercession, whether it's through prophetic word, whatever it is. Like, we count it. I think I can speak for all of us there and say we count it an honor to partner with God in this capacity. And I know it's different for many. There are a lot of people that's not going to understand this type of music. They're not. There are a lot of people that they feel like they can't prophesy to, certain instruments, or they feel like they can't do certain things. It is our job to simply just partner with the Lord and surrender to whatever He wants to release in that hour. And y'all, Holy Spirit is like our best friend.
If I could submit this, I think that this is a great opportunity and moment for people to understand. Just sit back and just listen.
Yeah.
You don't have to do much. God is not requiring us to do all of these things, and He's not. Sometimes He just wants you just to sit there and listen. Yeah. Sometimes when it's time to close your mouth and stop talking, do that and allow God to minister to you. Again, you've already said it, Raine. You said, some are not going to understand it, but guess what? God's going to make it understandable to the ones who need to know it. Yeah. And if you just don't want to know it and you want to walk away from it, go ahead. But there is a remnant that needs to hear and wants to hear what God is doing and what God is saying. And And
so I say that to say, when we talk about the song, y'all, God already knew what was getting ready to hit before.
He did. Yeah.
And those of you that are gatekeepers, you got to stay on your post and know that God will prepare the people. He will build a hedge around them in a time that is needed. I can say honestly, those that are surrendered to God are prospering in this time, and we're prospering in very unusual ways.
Yes.
And you cannot put a finger to it. All you can say is that it's God. And so I want you guys, those of you that are gatekeepers, stay on the wall. Stay on the wall. and stay in alignment with what God is saying for such a time as this, because it's going to definitely be before. It's going to be before the earth hits or feel the impact of whatever is coming. But God is not shaken by what's coming. He already put people in place that trust to release the sound, to build the hedge, to move forward in Him, and to make room for Him to do whatever it is that He wants to do.
And even I kind of even hear this: don't settle, don't settle, don't settle, don't settle, don't settle. I keep hearing that: don't settle, don't settle. You know, if you settle, you won't get all that is yours or all that's coming to you. Please don't settle in this season. Please don't settle in this season. God wants to give something to you. He wants to release something to you way bigger than you've imagined. And the thing is, you've thought too small. You thought too small. It's time for you to think on a bigger scale. I hear God saying. So yeah, don't settle. Please don't settle. Don't settle. This thing is real. You know, the more the more you listen in or lean in, the more God really, really, really begins to speak and talk. And so, yeah, allow this time to, there's a lot of process and a lot of things going on, but yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
I want to share final words.
I love God.
Lord God.
I will also say with Reese saying don't settle. Not only don't settle, but don't be afraid, because in this season He's using things in very unusual ways, and you've been afraid or your fear because it doesn't look like what it's supposed to. It's not packaged how it's been in years past. Is what's going to be your hindrance. So not only don't settle, but don't be afraid. For many in this season, there's a changing of guards and posts. For there are a lot of voices that have been silent for years, for times past, and seemingly it's almost kind of like they're coming out of the blue. And you're not coming out of the blue. This is just the season that He's releasing.
Yeah.
The flip side to that is there are a lot of voices that are being silenced in this season, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Changing of guards, changing of people who have had the rod and the staff, the people that have been in the forefront. There's a lot of switching, so don't be afraid that it doesn't look like what it has in the past, because when He calls your number, it's your time. And believe it or not, whether you're ready or not, it's gonna get done. But don't be the reason why it's a hindrance or it's a delay, because then that blood is now on your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Come on, rock. Kelly, you want to add anything?
Yeah, I just over the last I say month and a half, the Lord says that we are entering into a spiritual renaissance. Just like in the European Renaissance, where you had the explosion, acceleration of the arts and the philosophy and music, and what he said is that we are and have entered to a spiritual renaissance. And even in the spiritual renaissance, there were people that were called polymaths. These polymaths are people that have multiple gifts and talents to solve problems.
Yeah.
Like Leonardo da Vinci he was an artist, he was a scientist, he was an astrologist. And what he was saying is that even during this time that we're not to be isolated into just doing one thing. He's calling people to do multiple things. You know, you could be a prophetic teacher. You can be an apostolic preacher.
Hybrids.
Okay, he called us spiritual polymaths. Okay,
yes,
we're spiritual polymaths to be able to operate in multiple things so that we can be change agents in this earth. So if you are going to be in a business meeting, you have the language here. You're spiritually bilingual. You're able to speak the language of the kingdom, but you're also able to speak the language at a board meeting to be able to affect change, to be able to make those business decisions, to be able to sign those multi-million contracts, to be in the ear of people in legislative positions. We are polymaths in this time. It's not a season. It is a new era, a new dispensation of what God is doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
So you know, we're not, and that's why you're seeing the release of creative ideas, and people are coming up with all different types of ways of doing things. You know, this is how things were happening. And remember, last thing he said is that the predecessor, the thing that happened before the Renaissance was two things. One, there was back during the European Renaissance, it was a Black Death. The catalyst before any Renaissance is two things. It was one, it was called the Dark Ages. The Black Death, i.e. COVID-19, happened right before the Renaissance. It took out 20 million people during the European during that time. And then the second thing was, it was the Reformation, or the downfall of the Roman Empire. Okay, the downfall of the Roman Empire was because Christianity came in. Okay, it brought down polytheistic type of religion. We are at that downfall of the Roman Empire right now in our governmental system. He's bringing them down. Okay, before we enter into this Renaissance. That's what he said.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
See me the word of the Lord. Jesus. So I pray that you're blessed. What was the word you said, Polly?
Polymath. Polymath is a person that has multiple, is knowledgeable in multiple areas to be able to solve specific problems. Daniel was a polymath. And then actually, this was the last thing. Jesus said he was the ultimate polymath. He said he was the ultimate polymath, to the point where he had to break himself up in 5 areas, the fivefold ministry. He said, I'm such a polymath that I have to break myself up in 5 areas.
Yeah.
Wow.
Each Kelly.
So I pray that you guys are blessed. We just wanted to come on here and just have a conversation with you guys around this very unique song. One of the things I don't think I got a chance to just share, but I want to let you guys know, is that as a vocalist, God will use technique and different things to help pull out his expression in different ways. And so a lot of the things that you see us getting into, even me, in expressions with a lot of highs and lows, or crescendos and things of that nature. Those of you that have been skilled or trained in vocal training, do not throw those things to the side. God will use that to put a stamp on what he's trying to say. Most of the time, the applying of pressure, the consistency and frequencies, God will use all of those things to implement what it is that he wants to release. And so you will hear a lot of that on this song, a lot of vocal techniques that is very simple. You will see a lot of that happening on this song, but it's for a particular reason, for God to impart what it is that he wants to impart in that moment. So I want you guys as vocalists to pay attention to those different trainings and different executions, dynamics that God will have you to use in a moment to execute his language to, his message to. It's not just about you getting it out, but it's also in how you release it too as well. I know Nick can speak to that a little bit more too.
Yeah, I reference this all the time. You know, David was skilled and anointed. A lot of times we focus in the modern day church or the modern day kingdom, we focus more on one than the other. And what you fail to realize is that as humans or as flesh, our technique, which is rooted in our foundation, is God's expression.
Yes, it is.
So without our technique to be able to understand, you know, the natural things of a crescendo, decrescendo, a glissando, you know, all of the technical things from our musical world, that's how God is expressing what he's delivering.
Yes.
It's nothing worse than somebody delivering a message to you monotone.
Yeah,
because
that's
it
good.
gives you no indication of how they really feel about it. But
Yeah.
when they are able to express, whether it's happiness, whether it's sadness, whether it's fear, whether it's being apprehensive, whatever it is, that expression is delivered in the technique. So as minstrels, as psalmists, as singers, as
Oh yeah.
musicians, your technique, your foundation, which unfortunately, especially in the gospel and Christian community, there's a big lack because they have not studied to
They
show
have it.
themselves approved.
Oh, I
They are
got something
just,
for you.
they just,
Mm-hmm.
I play by ear, or it just
Yep.
naturally comes to me.
True.
That's great, but get to the point where you study, that you build on your craft, because when you translate it, especially when you're doing it for the Lord, you understand what his expression is. A lot of people ask me, what are you thinking about, or what are y'all thinking about when y'all play? How do you know what to play? Well, in the natural, I've studied. I've gone to school. I've been in the classes. I can read sheet music. I've done all of those things. And God is just using what my technique is, or my foundation, to express what he's given. So when, Raine says, apply pressure, I understand what type.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I'm doing a long roll on the drums, or whether it's staccato, whether it's like we're driving something in. If I was to translate that to a musical term, that's staccato. That's
Right.
pop, pop. Whatever the speed is, but it's still staccato because it's short and aggressive, as opposed to something that we're, holding out. Those
Mm-hmm.
technical things, we may not necessarily speak them when we do them, but we understand, and it helps translate what God is delivering in the street.
What I would like to add to that is that it's a merge. The thing is, God's going to begin to merge the spiritual
Yep.
with the natural. And
Yep.
once those things come together, there's a great
Combustion. Yeah.
combustion, explosion, whatever we want to call it, into what God wants to create is this beautiful thing. And I think that's what the church is going to begin to now experience, because now we are in need of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We are in desperate need of it. We need the gift, and we need the other side to begin to merge.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, for sure, especially for vocalists. Something as simple as learning how to control your vibrato, or when to give as much. That
Yeah.
rhythm, and the speed of that rhythm makes some levels of impartation in the realm of the spirit.
Yeah.
I guess I learned this from playing the clarinet. Like, you get more expression, based off of how much air you release, or how much you, or allowing that note to move, using your fingers and all those things.
Sure.
And so even vocally, like, you learn to do that vocally. There's some times where I apply literally a lot of vibrato. This moment right here that's playing right now is the let me go back a little bit. It's a lot of skill, I used to play the clarinet. I don't play no more. It's right here. Yeah. I sound like a clarinet player right there. That sounds like but you use those things to help express God's heart. That's all we try to say. That's all we try to say. So we're intentional about partnering with God, and what we hear, we want to be a reflection of that, a direct reflection, however he wants to release that. And so he'll tell you how to do it while you're singing. I promise you, he will. Or while you're playing, he will tell you how to do that. But you got to first be a partner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Align with God.
Yeah.
Take his hand and let him lead you on.
Yeah.
And allow you to birth the things that he will have you to birth. So
So good.
thank y'all for hanging out with us tonight. Thank y'all for coming on and hanging out and talking about release. I pray that this bless your life. And that you continue to share and use this song in your personal prayer time. And yeah, I pray that you're blessed by it. So we love you guys. Thank y'all, Rose and Pretty Kelly. Thank you so much.
Miss y'all. Love y'all.
Oh, we miss you.
Miss you too. I'm coming to the East Coast.
No, you're not.
Oh,
You
Kelly, I'm
right there.
coming into Baltimore this month at the end. I get to you.
You better call me.
I will. I got you.
All right.
Listen, I'm gonna just come to the East Coast and we'll just do all your stuff while I'm out there.
Come on. Come on.
Raine, you ugly.
Good Lord.
I love y'all. We'll see you guys
too.
later. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Enjoy release, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.